What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Wait, What Are We Talking About podcast, episode 162. My name is Bret, aka Enigma9011, and today I'm once again joined by Dio at Dio MWF and Danny at Castine. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
Good, dude. Good. Just staying stress-free and relaxing.
I'm good, man. Just playing some fighting games and hard day's work,
Yeah. Well, nice. I appreciate you guys being on the podcast again today. Audience, if you guys want to check the podcast live, you can always go over to twitch.tv/Enigma9011 every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Join the chat. Join on the conversation and the fun. We'd love to have you there. But if you can't catch it live, that's A-OK. Go over to YouTube and podcast services the very next week, where it's broken out topic by topic and put as one big video and MP3 for your amusement on the following Friday. Last but not least, any way you could support the show, comments, reviews, shares, whatever it may be. It may seem small, but does help the channel grow, and we would love you for it. So yes, the gentlemen are back. The guys alluded to it. Fighting games. We're going to continue our Street Fighter 6 talk to start off. I'm a little behind because planning. Hey, I'm a good, smart person with that. These gentlemen who were lucky enough to play the Street Fighter 6 beta that was maybe a few months ago, right? Something like that.
Like December. So like now 2 months.
Mm-hmm. So last we'd kind of talked about the reveal and the initial trailers and kind of got your picture brains about that. So I guess just general question. How was the beta? How was that experience for you guys?
Oh yeah, no, it was great. I mean, I definitely lost a lot of sleep because of the beta. Well, first off, I think the beta is amazing. It's great. It runs well. I love the lobby system. It really feels kind of has that like old like arcade vibe where you because in the lobby you have like multiple like arcade setups and you just hop into one and people can just join in. So it's like it's basically like old school arcade days but virtual. I think it's really cool. Though my experience, like I lost a lot of sleep because it came out on like the worst time possible. I had to go to Christmas parties. So literally when it came out at 12 a.m., played till like 6 in the morning, slept, then for like 2-3 hours, played again, go to Christmas party, come home, play again, sleep, and repeat. So that's what I was doing. So I was mainly playing Guile, but then I picked up Ryu near like the end of the beta because I was like, hey, just step out of my comfort zone a little bit.
Sure.
But I think it's great.
Kind of same thing, similar experience because it came out. I should say the beta weekend was it dropped when I was actually supposed to be doing some traveling. So I tried to share it because I got the download, the beta test, and I streamed it a couple of times. I wish I would have got more time with the game because I think I streamed like a little over 6 hours total in the 3 hour sessions. I was so enamored by how smooth the game felt. I know it was like a beta test and stuff, but like I was hoping it wasn't going to be clunky like 5 was and 4 because of character models and stuff. But for a beta test, I mean, second round, dude, it was smooth. It was butter. I mean, I think I only had like a couple of, if I can remember, just a couple of games where I was like, oh yeah, that's totally lag, depending on connection and stuff. But overall, I was just enamored by just how vibrant the colors were, the drive impact system, and learning and understanding and just trying new stuff. So I was legit a sponge for that weekend, at least for the time that I streamed. I got to stick with the man, dude. The man, the myth, the legend, Guile. Dude, I've been playing him since Street Fighter 2. He just, the game feels like a culmination of all the games so far. Whether it's, if you grew up, Street Fighter 2, the Alpha series, Street Fighter 3, the parry system, 4 with the FADC, and 5 with more install supers for level 2s. So it just felt, for a game that I was really trying not to watch a lot of, as hyped as I was, and I tried to really mute myself from it. Dude, when you first like I can think about it right now, when I first got my first match in, and I was like, this feels like Street Fighter 2. This feels like Street Fighter 3. This aspect, it's just like checking all like how smooth the game feels. It just, dude, it was. I had, and I still have a lot of expectations now that going further that some of the other characters are released, but knowing that all the characters they felt so different, and I just loved how every button just felt so different. The impact system, the drive impact, overall just like saying something like I'm gonna try this and see how people respond, and then you get bodied for it. But it's just like, dude, it's just the whole thought process is like, dude, this is cool because I didn't do that with like any of the iterations of like 3 or 4 or 5. It was kind of like my expectations of this game is just so high, and I felt like it. If I was to give it a passing grade, that thing's like, it's almost 100%. I just have to see more characters and just hear more music. But for what we got, we had 6 characters.
Yeah,
6 characters.
Yeah, 6 characters.
It feels really good. I know I'm dragging and just going around in circles.
You're fine.
I'm excited for it. We're T-minus 4 months away, so
Oh god.
June 2nd can't come any closer, any faster. But man, like, I feel like if you didn't spend a lot of time with any of the older Street Fighter games, you'll see where the system is, and you'll be like, dude, this is easy to grasp and understand. And I don't see where you can just be like, oh, this doesn't feel like a Street Fighter game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
As with a lot of other games, you kind of get that feeling. Like, sometimes it's tweaked a little too much where it doesn't feel like it. But overall, I felt like Street Fighter 6 definitely, it checked all the boxes I wanted it to check. And again, I can't be mad. I got Guile day 1, I got Jamie day 1, and now we get DJ day 1. So those are 3 characters I want. I mean, after the leak, those are 3 characters I have like the most like interest in. So I can't lie, I'm spoiled, and I'm thoroughly enjoying just the hype behind it now. So replayability, getting to kind of tweak your character for what it's worth, and even trying to get into those beta test tournaments, that sucked. I didn't know that I didn't know that there were like timed, like there was 4 major like beta test tournaments that you can get in. So
yeah, I totally missed those because like I was gonna sign up for one when basically signups like ended like the day the day beta came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think one of them capped it at 135.
Yeah, and like the other, there are a couple that were like I couldn't do it because I was already out of town as it was, and I had family functions to do. So,
sure.
Out of the 72 hours that we had with the game, I'm glad I got my 18 in. I teased myself. I couldn't get mad at the game, and it's just like, dude, like I said, it checked all the boxes, and I'm just so excited for it. Sound effects, great. Visuals, great. When you get hit, especially when you get that drive impact, dude, it feels like you're getting hit like in the freaking old like kung fu flicks, man. Just it's like, dude, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. I can't talk any highly about it other than the experience was great. So.
Oh yeah, and as Dio was mentioning about the online play, it felt great. Like him and I, we played like a few matches. I think you were away when we were playing.
Yeah.
And it was like smooth as butter.
Yeah.
Like because normally when him and I play like Street Fighter 5, like we come across some issues and we live really close to each other. But him being like a state away, and I'm like playing, and it's just like wow, like it feels like we're
like offline.
Yes, playing in person. And yeah, there were some hiccups with some people that I ran into, but even then it wasn't an issue because it was because when you notice it was laggy, but you feel it you notice it when it's like slow, but it's not gonna like hinder like the gameplay as much.
Mm-hmm.
Like it feel like I can still like adapt properly instead of feeling like I'm being robbed from a match.
Sure.
Yeah, that's also an excuse on my end.
But I mean, like even the stages like had a lot of stuff too, and that can bog down the game.
Right.
Oh yeah,
but there was not. Like I said, like as visual, and I'm sure as visually impacting as the games are, how vibrant the colors are, and how much was moving like in the background. I was really surprised. Like the gameplay was still like, dude, it's smooth. It's like I'm so like glad like there aren't like stages like in Street Fighter Five, waterfall, the beach, Rashid's
like all skies bomb like the plane space. Yeah.
like there's so much stuff going on, and I'm I'm getting beat or I'm beating somebody, and I'm enjoying it because it's like I have no excuse for the most part other than getting outplayed. But at the same time, it's like, dude, it feels good to learn and try out your theories and know what works or get hit and know what doesn't work and just apply it to the next game and the next game. It just, dude, feeling like taking all the years of like learning games and then just applying that kind of thought process first now is just like, I don't know. It just keeps me excited, man. Like, and when I'm at work, I'm like, dude, maybe I can try this next time. If I can get to the third round of beta testing, because I think we're supposed to get something in March.
Actually, that was my prediction because the betas, they came out in 3 months, in like 3 month spans, in spurts. I mean, so there's one in summer and then there's one in December. So my next best prediction will be around like March or April.
Okay.
Like was when we'll get the beta.
I think that's what we're trying to pinpoint. Like, man, hopefully if we get into the third round, man, like I will definitely take the time off and I will be streaming and dude, I'm just so excited. So excited for the game.
Oh yeah. Like I definitely will tell everyone in the community to leave me alone when the beta comes out. So I'm not listening, I'm playing, leave me alone.
Nice. Well, good. I'm glad you guys had a good time with it. So you guys mentioned 6 characters. So you guys mentioned Guile and Ryu. Who else was available in the beta?
There was Jamie and Kimberly, 2 new characters, and then there was Chun-Li and Juri.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And Luke, I forgot about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so and kind of weird because Luke was technically supposed to be, he's a Street Fighter 6 character, but he's in Street Fighter 5.
Sure.
Probably due to production or due to COVID with the 5th season and all that stuff. Which to me, it's just like, dude, like if I know this is a little backtracking a little bit, but side tangent, dude. If that was the DLC for Street Fighter 5, dude, that just tells me that they should be the characters that were in the last DLC for Street Fighter 5 should automatically be in Street Fighter 6.
I think so.
I hope so.
Well, I definitely think Rose might come back for Street Fighter 6 and Dan. I mean, I definitely want to see Dan.
I mean, it's just getting to see those other characters. Chun definitely not being the Chun that we know. She's definitely a lot older, a lot more she looks more teacher like rather than like international Interpol. I'm going to kill Bison because he killed my dad kind of. Now she's passing on the knowledge and how to just kind of live her life as a civilian, which is always cool. And I was really wondering, like, when are they gonna, make that change finally? I guess. Kimberly, new character. I have to play her more. I probably only spent like 5 minutes with her. She, just my opinion, she didn't have anything like to draw me towards her. I like her character design is really cool. She's a Bushin style character, which originates with like Guy and Zeku.
She ninja.
Yeah. Ibuki, and I didn't play those characters very often. I did try to learn Zeku, who was supposed to be the master of the Bushin style, but side tangent. Street Fighter 5 character, 2 stances, just really difficult for me. I couldn't adapt. One is more prone for offense, one is more prone for defense, and Street Fighter 5 is more of an offensive driven game. So
yeah,
her style of play for sure is like really fast, and I think she's going to be a very frustrating character to play once we see more development from her. Juri is Juri, like she plays more like Street Fighter 4 Juri. Now that her dive kick is back, which kind of always pissed me off, but when in doubt, flash kick it out. So,
or Piri.
So yeah,
that's all I was doing. Against Piri.
And then Jamie, new character, Drunken Fist boxer / breakdancer. Dude, if you thought Rashid was hyped, this guy is super hyped, dude. If you hit offense and mixing people up, and not technically. I'm not never really drawn to those characters, but his character design is so cool.
Sure.
His animations are really cool. He has a drinking aspect. The drunker he gets, drinking levels. He gets access to more moves.
Drinking juice.
He's just a flashy character. I think once you get him to like level 3, 4, because he has 5 levels.
I think 4 levels.
4 levels.
Yeah, 4 levels.
He just gets a lot more. He gets a lot more ammunition, and he hits really hard. So
yeah.
Just him being a character like that, it's like, dude, I have to change my whole like thought philosophy as to how to play because I don't traditionally play like rush down in your face characters. So he still has my he still has high interest for me. It's just I have to try and figure out how I'm gonna have to phase him in with DJ being the way he is, and he looks like he plays exactly like he did in Super Turbo. So for me, like that's like the older the better, because that's what I grew up with, and trying to find ways or time to learn Jamie on top of just being comfortable with Guile and DJ. I'm gonna have to be like, dude, I'm gonna have to spend like a week of just playing that one character just to see if I really, really am gonna committed to have him to learn him because I'll give you an example. It's taken me 5 years to want to try to finally branch out from Nash, and he's a dead character, so.
Literally dead.
So, like, I know he was my day one because Guile wasn't day one, but the fact that for me, I'm just so comfortable and I enjoy his playstyle. For me, it's just like, in a way, I kind of hope that I don't spend 5 years with just 2 characters, because if their roster is going to be 30 plus, man, dude, like I would definitely have a lot more fun trying to learn as characters are released.
Sure.
I don't want to have that. Oh, I'm just gonna play one character. I want to be able to be confident and actually try these interesting looking characters and just hopefully potentially grow with the game. So.
And I think that's the thing that Dio is pointing out is that a lot of the characters feel like they're like old like characters. Like they feel like when you play them, you feel like, yeah, this is like who they are, but with like all the added mechanics, it now feels like it's just an extension, or like they're adding on to it. And I think it's really amazing because I feel like it's for Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 5, like the character, it's one thing, like, yeah, you have to play like a certain way with a character, but with 6, it's like, oh, this is who they truly are, and you can figure out like how you want to play them, and then on top of that you have like all these mechanics to just expand on their tools they have. And because I was playing Guile, basically Street Fighter 2, and I played him pretty seriously in Super Turbo, like on Fightcade and stuff like that, and he really does feel like the old Yao that I remember. Like, really feels like right at home. And I think the amazing part is that I feel like I could really like adapt, and I feel like I can actually learn and adjust in the game. Especially in a very smooth online setting. It's like, yeah, he plays a Street Fighter 2, but when you play someone like Ryu, who's very well rounded, you can play in many ways. Like, let's say you want to go for more defensive Street Fighter 3 style, like with parrying. Then with Gao, you have to really adjust. You're like, oh, I can't play him like Street Fighter 2, or I have to really make those adjustments. But it doesn't feel like you're losing any sort of identity with those adjustments. It's amazing. It's an amazing game. I think Capcom's doing a really great job at it. But I may be a little too good.
I mean, and that's only 2 rounds of beta testing, and whatever, what's been found out. I mean, all the characters, once we find out what's the busted stuff, then you're gonna be like, dude, I really want to frustrate people because you can't really do anything against this. And we're finding I'm seeing just reactions on with Ken, of all characters, who's he's always been very strong in Street Fighter, but knowing that, I think someone finally tapped into some of the busted stuff. I was like, I wonder how that's gonna play out, because it's like, oh, here's a teaser, now we have this, and it leads into this, and it looks really frustrating. So, along with being able to, I want to piggyback, along being able to play the character historically, as in like that is their traditional way to play. That's where the other versions of that character come in. The later versions, like you can't just rely on horizontal control with sonic booms because Street Fighter 3 takes that away with parry, or Street Fighter 4 with FADC or guard impact. You still have to mix people up and try to test new things. As it's again going off of beta testing. It's all theory right now.
Sure.
A lot of hypothesis, a lot of thinking, a lot of brainstorming, and until the next round of beta testing, then we can start to plug and play and then look towards like the finalized thing. I know I'm so excited about this game. I talk about this hypothetically, like even to myself. I'm like, dude, what if I can try this? If I get bodied, I get bodied.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then you have the whole other aspect of grapplers who just got a bunch of other defensive options back. So, it's so excited. I'm just so excited, man.
Basically, to the audience, it feels like an old game, but adjusted to fit like our current generation.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of fighting games should like take that into consideration. Especially, I think King of Fighters 15 was definitely the one game that did it first. Whereas when because I played like the older versions, like not seriously, I played in the arcades and especially at my old job, which has like a KOF cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I went in to play 15, it's like, wow, it feels like an older KOF game, but like it's made for everyone. Like those who are new to fighting games are new to fighting games, want to pick up something. It's like you're in a good spot, and I feel like Street Fighter 6. People who want to play like are going to be at home, and they're definitely going to be able to obtain a lot of legacy knowledge from old heads, and I think that's really good, and I think that's going to go a long way for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like that, like definitely Street Fighter 6 so far has done at least Capcom has implemented, like, again, if Danny says, like what Danny says, like if you're not like uber familiar with just fighting games in general, let alone just Street Fighter, like not only with like modern controls and like shortcuts, but there are ways to, you can be serious and like learn using like the modern controls, which is going to be kind of like a Smash Bros style with a special button in a direction, or even limiting like how you press buttons, like your punch button. Sometimes I think there's a pressure sensor, or there's a pressure where you can get like a medium instead of a heavy. So, there's gonna be ways to shortcut it, and it's gonna be interesting how that's a different aspect of just trying to bring everyone together. And what if they have modern controls tournaments only? It's gonna be kind of weird to see like pros use that and see what kind of execution can come out of just quote unquote the limited controls.
Sure.
Like I think it's gonna be groundbreaking, because it's like that's what a lot of people said with just using pad or hitbox. I know this is a tangent comment, but the idea to bring people in, whether it's for sales but also for enjoyability and competition, like I think it's very important for the growth and the continuation of the game. I mean, you can see just by the growth of Street Fighter 2 to 3, and then like, well, how many years was that before we got 4?
Oh my god!
Like that's the comment that I think, like, with Street Fighter 3, it was so different. It wasn't quote unquote Street Fighter, but it is now universally, accepted as, dude, this is like,
it's totally a Street Fighter game.
So it's just for the continuation of the series, I think that that's important. Not only just for competition, enjoyability, but like just bringing in new talent, new people, and people interested in getting into fighting games. So a historical aspect, I if you want to call it that. But dude, that's just there's a lot there as far as just being able to get the feel of a Street Fighter game and then see how others potentially played just by playing Street Fighter 6.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. like not trying to scare anyone away, but when I was playing, I definitely I noticed like people like, oh, you played in this iteration of Street Fighter, so okay, well, I'm just gonna adapt to that, and then and I think it's really cool because you'll see like a spectrum of players, or you see where players like came from, and you can definitely I definitely noticed that there are people I played who come from Street Fighter 4 and they skipped out 5, and try and do like Street Fighter 4 stuff. Of course that's not gonna fly in Street Fighter 6. And you definitely see people, whose first game was Street Fighter 5 and going to 6, and you kind of notice that. And I think it's really cool. And piggyback off the modern controls, like personally, I'm not for the modern controls. I'm too much of a traditionalist to play modern. But there were like pro players like Justin Wong and Haitani, a renowned, I guess a renowned third strike Makoto main. They did a funny thing where like they were just gonna play only modern controls, and they got really far. So I think there's definitely room for players who don't want to play classic and can definitely optimize and maximize the potential of modern controls. And I think that'll definitely change things up in overall fighting games.
Very cool. Very cool. So was this PC beta or was this PlayStation 5?
This is all crossplay. So
Oh, it was all crossplay.
yeah,
Okay.
PS4, PS5, and PC. I was playing on PC, and Dio was playing on the PS5. So, and like I said, it was silky smooth. Like, because unlike like Street Fighter 5, I made the switch to PC during the pandemic because like console. So like so on consoles, there's like a cap in internet speed.
Sure.
So, and I feel like, it's very like sluggish and kind of like rough to play. But when I go on PC, it's like, oh, it's much better. And eventually everyone started doing that. But with 6, it's like I can play anyone and it just feels like I'm playing them in person.
Okay.
So I think everyone should definitely look forward to that.
Nice. So you guys have alluded to the third beta. There's no obviously confirmation of it yet. With the 6 characters you had, or 7 characters, whatever it was, in beta 2, is there somebody that you would like to be included if there is a third beta to try out?
Ooh, I think a logical pick would probably be the more recently announced characters, like Marissa, Manon, JP, DJ. I think those 4 should be included in the beta. You can also argue like people want like Dawson or E Honda, but I think with a beta, you don't want to give everything away, of course.
Sure.
Because like, little slight off tangent, when Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle had a beta, they basically included like, the whole cast. And then that was cool. You got a lot of like lab time, to play, figure out. But I feel like I was already kind of spoiled with that. So I feel like it just makes more sense to bring new characters, let people like give a taste, So yeah, I think the 4 recently announced characters should be in the beta.
I'm kind of leaning towards what's been released. Like you said, Marissa, Manon, JP, Sim, Blanca, and DJ. If they can give any of those 4, maybe even 5, and then like a potentially like we're gonna throw in a mystery character, that'd be kind of cool. As far as like maybe like another new Street Fighter 6 character. Not necessarily. I mean, they can definitely bring in like a original World Warrior, but I would like to just see if Capcom would just kind of throw in a little bit of spice and say, you thought you were just going to get these 5 or 6. We're going to give you these 5, and then some of that wasn't revealed. I think that would be kind of cool. Maybe. I mean, I'm sure you've seen the character roster leak, right?
I think so. Yeah, we talked about it last time.
I like I said, like with whoever's released, I mean, if I get DJ, fantastic, because then that just means I get all 3 characters day one. That'd be more time for me to lab. But I'd like to, honestly, I'd like to try, someone new, like potentially of that roster leak. Again, like I said, well, what if Capcom said, oh, we're going to give you, of the 6 that were released, we'll give you 5, and then we'll give you a mystery character. And I'm actually looking to see what's T-Hawk's daughter's name?
Lily.
Lily. I think she would be like pretty cool because, I mean, who there? It's three, right? There's Kimberly, there's Chun, and Jury. So that's a 1-to-1 ratio. And if we just got the two girls, and then we got Sim, Bison, JP, and Blanca, I would think that if they kept
Bison.
it, oh JP, Blanca. Did I say Bison?
You said Bison and JP.
Person.
Don't say that. I don't want. You know, Bison and
JP's throwing Bison's psycho power. You know that.
I'll come to accept that, but I don't want no Bison and
Dude, did you see?
I'm sorry.
It looks like a Psycho Crusher.
Oh yeah.
But no, I would like it to keep it more like even, you know, a 1-to-1 ratio. Like we got like 3 females and 3 males. You know what I mean? Because with the updated release, or not release, but the updated rosters, they only showed Marissa and Manon, who are going to be potentially 2 grapplers, but 4 guys. You know, I mean Blanca's a guy, so he's kind of he's a funny guy. He looks cool. I like the overalls. It's a good touch on him. But that for me, like if it was a 1-to-1 ratio, because that's what it was. That for me, I would be extremely thrilled. Mm-hmm. More diversity that way, I feel.
Yeah, I think definitely would be good for people, especially in this day and age.
So as you guys were playing, you guys mentioned you got, you know, however many hours respectively. Was there any person or character that you ran into that seemed to be a troublemaker, or like just somebody who might be somebody to watch out for, to somebody you're gonna have to deal with, I guess?
As far as character, or
yeah, character wise, like was there anybody that stood out like this is an annoying character, at least right now?
Ooh, I think for me it would be Kimberly.
Okay.
Like Kimberly, she's kind of like an in-your-face kind of character, rush down. But she has all these tools. Like she does, like, you know, like those basically ninja stuff. Like she throw like a can spray can, explodes kind of like a smoke cloud, and she can do all that stuff, right? But but that part wasn't at least hard for me to figure out, you know, because she has options from that. So I can like just, you know, like parry, I can just block, you know. But that's the more annoying part, is that she has very good buttons overall. And she can definitely like optimize from those buttons. And I was like telling Dio and some people in the community that you definitely see characters where they place, like, or at least, you know, place in the tier list that or if they're dependent on the drive system or not. Like characters like Guile Guile and Ken don't really need the drive system. So I think that's why they're really good. But someone like and Kimberly as well, like she doesn't really necessarily need it. But someone like Jamie kind of needs it, or Chun-Li, to kind of optimize her pressure and her damage. Like, yeah, so yeah.
I don't know. I didn't play a lot of Kimberly's, to be honest, and like the ones that I did play, you know, obviously they were just trying to figure things out. I got a lot of like, you know, repetitive stuff, so I can't really say I can recount like the same experience as Danny has. But personally, dude, I alluded to earlier, but Ken has some nutty stuff already. I've been hit with some stuff like I question what happened. And I get it, it's beta, so you know, I'm just trying to take everything in. Like if I got hit by it, I got hit by it. Next time I'll try not to get hit by it. But I feel like his mix-up game potentially, because I did go in the training room with him for I didn't go into any matches, but I did look at the way his moves kind of like affected his positioning. So he's definitely got some more movement stuff since, geez, I don't know, ever.
Yeah.
He has he just has some really good tools that are like I didn't expect him to get. Like of all characters, I didn't expect him to get these kind of things. I mean, his variations with his kicks, he's got another set of Tatsu, which changes positions. Certain things, EX version causes what, wall bounce, or you can OTG off or whatever, or you can get juggles. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, and granted, it's still super early, but I had a lot of issues with Jamie just because of the unfamiliarity. And dude, like I said, once he gets to like power level 3 or 4, and he gets access to the other, weapons that he can get, he hits pretty hard. And I mean, can't say much about Jury because her dive kick can be relegated with parry or just a well-timed flash kick. So, but knowing that she can still have like Street Fighter 4 pressure, and she can challenge a lot in the air, which for me, I have to tell myself stop jumping and just, I know it's a new game, but blah blah blah. And I didn't play a lot of Chuns, and surprisingly, I didn't play any Lukes. If I did, I must have just ran wild on him because only thing that I took away from Luke is he has the air fireball.
It looks like freaking Liu Kang's MK3 fireball.
And I'm just like, dude, like, why does he get a somewhat angled fireball? And whatever, I'm gonna play Guy. I'm just gonna flash kick him. And I would say, I mean, just judging from what I've seen and experienced, and even seeing YouTube reactions, like Ken he could be a menace with the right positioning. I mean, any character can potentially, but just understanding and seeing how he moves and how certain moves put him in a position where if he needs to get away from the wall, which you'll learn with the drive system, like you have to stay away from the wall, because if someone hits you with drive impact, it's gonna basically cause you to stun, or it's gonna get you a free knockdown, or they can go in basically. So positioning, keeping a mental check on position. This is a side tangent again, because I'm already thinking about the game. Just Ken being able to switch from that and put him in that position from his back against the wall with a well-timed, second version Tatsu, and next thing you know, you're against the wall, and he'll just drive impact you. And, that could be the game or anything, but my experience with him, that I got hit with that a lot. So like that's like, how do I stop that position? Worst case scenario, just try to parry it, but then you gotta manage your your drive system and all this extra stuff. It's just Ken is gonna be he's gonna be my pick for being a problem. I think he's gonna be really, really strong like early on. So
I think so too, and I think Jury, she's also another annoying character that I definitely faced. Because she's like a combination of 4 and 5, like 4 with the pressure, but then you got the 5 with like her like range, or like her footsie range. Yes. Yeah, so that part was like a little annoying, but not as annoying as like Kimberly, or actually Chun-Li. And it's funny when Dio was saying that like you didn't run into a lot of Chun-Li's. Like I noticed that like when you step into the more like higher ranks, like the platinum, the diamond areas, that's where a lot of like the people I played in like in like online tournaments for Wednesday night fights, a lot of those guys were there, and then I've ran to a decent amount of Chun-Li's, and it's like, damn, this chick's very annoying. like she feels like she feels like Street Fighter 2 Chun-Li, where like she just moves very quick, sticks out buttons, and then also a little bit of Street Fighter 3. But now that she does like she's a stance character as well now, so it's also a lot of that. It's like me having to kind of constantly guess and had to figure out, okay, like when should I parry, all that stuff. So I think Kimberly and Chun-Li are probably the 2 most annoying characters for me right now. Luke, not so much. Other than his fireball, I feel like it wasn't too bad. Just the damage was kind of Luke's damage was kind of a little jarring for me. So
okay, all right. Well, that's good to hear that. Seems like people are playing a variety, and it's not just one person stand out. Except those higher ranks you were talking about, Danny. But I guess last question for me. You guys alluded to it earlier, like the lobby system, how it's kind of like that old arcade, like you sit down in the cabinet, you play people. How did you guys feel that worked out compared to traditional, like, I guess, lobbies? Like, you're just searching online, you find the casual match, you find the ranked. Did it get annoying where you had to wait for people, or is the room size too big, too small? How did you feel that worked overall?
You want to go?
I don't think I ever got into like a lobby that was like, almost capacity. I don't know if there was capacity, but um, I think the only thing is, I mean, if people wanted matches, you can get into matches because you can still do like rank, because rank is different from like the lobbying.
Oh,
Like
okay.
you just, so you can. I didn't know that like for the first 2 days. I was just like, what? Where's the rank system? And the next thing you know, I'm like, oh, there it is. So if you want to just play casuals, instead of rank and casuals, and then you have to wait between the casual or the rank, so you don't lose your points or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like I felt like that's a good starting place, because if you're just trying to learn the character, you're not. I mean, you're not forcing yourself to like, lose your, gamble on your points, like. And what I liked about it though is you can actually change your rank per character.
Oh, okay.
So you can like, I saw people that they had like a gold Ken, but then they had like a platinum, Jamie or whatever. So, I was just like, wow, that's kind of cool. Like instead of like, all right, I know I'm good with this character and I'm trash with this character. Am I going to be playing like super high level competition?
Mm-hmm.
No, you just it's like a placement, right? You have to win 10 matches or whatever.
Yeah, basically, I think I was actually gonna say, like, I think it's really cool that in Street Fighter 6 you basically like you can have different ranks for different characters, but each time you have to do like a placement.
Yeah.
So like you play 10 matches, depending how well you do, you get placed there. Like then that literally what happened to me. Like I was playing Guile and I was gold because I literally just went straight into the beta. I didn't even lab anything. I just went straight in. All cool. But then by like the last day, I played with Ryu, and then next thing I'm like platinum, like halfway into the other like platinum levels with Ryu, and like, oh okay, because that makes sense because I just got used to the game,
right?
So it makes sense where I got placed.
Yeah,
but I think it's really cool. And also another cool thing too is that you can also switch controls, like when you change a character. So like you can to select a character, you can go like classic or modern. So I think that's also a really cool like idea.
I mean, I like the idea that the lobby system is separate from like, I guess it's like a it's definitely casual versus like ranked, and I like that because like Street Fighter 5, if you have ranked, you can opt to have both rank and casual matches. You just have to get an invitation or wait for a match. I didn't like the whole waiting aspect of it, so if I wanted to just go straight into ranking, you still have to wait a little bit, but whatever. Like I've gotten used to it, but I like the idea with the lobby system. If you're really just trying to, like, I guess, potentially make friends, because I was like, dude, like if you want to learn some of this character, bro, like I'll be on at this time. And dude, sure enough, like second date, the guy was up at 5 o'clock in the morning with me, and we played, 10, 15 matches, and I was like, dude, this is cool. So in a way, like my experience with it is that I got to, actually do the whole meet somebody and, kind of help them coach it. Cause like, oh, dude, I've never played Street Fighter. Like, oh man, just work on this. Don't worry about execution and stuff. And it was definitely a lot more friendly, which is really cool. Like you don't really get that a lot unless unless you have like, I don't ever have my mic. I'm kind of old school. And I'm just gonna type whatever I have to say. Be there for like 20 minutes typing like a 2-sentence message. And saying, yeah, dude, just work. Just try this and this and this next time you play or whatever. But like, I really like the idea that you can, your character, your avatar, you can customize. You win your bucks or whatever, and then you go up to other people and. The difference between like the lobby play versus online rank play, like I didn't see any drop. Connection was great no matter where I was playing people from like Japan, like no problem, and like maybe a hiccup or two, but like not like significant, nothing where it's just like, oh dude, totally got robbed, or like, oh my hit didn't, it showed that it hit and a rollback and all that good stuff. But it's I I felt like being able to just hop into like, hey, you want to do first to 15? Cool, awesome, and you get immediate like feedback, and versus just if you want to do rank and casuals that way, like it's cool because I felt like with the lobby system you can be locked in for like, hey, I'm gonna learn this character, versus having to wait and hunt for another person that plays that character to try stuff out. So I felt like it was like my experience with it was just it was like super friendly and very it definitely was, it was a pleasant experience. It was pleasant.
Yeah, because that's why I like the lobby, like this Dio said. You can definitely set your settings to like, oh, you can have rank and casual, but then if you don't feel like waiting, you just hop into like a cabinet. Mm-hmm. And eventually someone will come to you.
Okay.
And you get to play. And, yeah, and I mean you have the option to wait, but I think it's. Oh yeah, and to answer your question, I think like the lobby and the capacity isn't so bad because there's like so many like different rooms you can enter.
Okay.
I think there's like a maximum capacity of like 200 per room, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but there's like so many different servers, and the thing is like as Dio said, like, he hopped in different servers. I think we hopped into the Japanese server when we
played. A couple times, yeah.
Yeah, because it was empty, and so so we play.
I was like, wait, I'm not in the US.
Yeah, no, there's day one. You're texting me like, oh, Japanese server to Japan server 8. I'm like, fuck. Yeah, exactly. It's really cool, and I think it's worth like just hanging out in the lobbies because you get to see everyone's like avatars, and a lot of people's avatars are hell of meme worthy. Like, oh my god, it's so fun to just look at people's avatars and to do like stupid stuff. Like you can do special moves in the lobby, and you can see people just like trolling.
Bro, that's all I was doing, man. I was just doing DPs the whole time, off of the little scaffold. And
or like I do like a tatsumaki or a spinning bird kick off the stairs. Yeah, it's like see stuff like that is like really fun.
It's goofy, man. I loved it. I appreciate that a lot.
It's very good.
It's about time.
Yeah, definitely worth looking at a lot.
I can definitely see like this is alluding to something in the future, but I can definitely see myself wasting time in their universe, man. What are you doing, man? I'm gonna DP some random guy's cars until it breaks, Yeah. That's what I'm gonna be doing, man, the whole time. It is great.
And the other funny part is that like if you go to upstairs lobby, like there's an area where you can like basically like take photos.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like messing around with that a little bit. I'm just like, doing wacky poses and doing selfies and take pictures next to like cutouts of like Capcom characters.
Oh, cool.
The one thing I didn't get to explore was the extreme matches. I didn't get to do any of that.
I think that was allowed.
Yeah.
Was it?
It was available, yeah.
Ooh, okay, so I totally missed that.
If you played Tekken, they had like a Tekken ball game where you hit the volleyball and you have to hit it back and forth, and if it drops, you take damage. Street Fighter has that too.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I didn't get a chance to do it because like it was crazy because like even the backgrounds come in, right? Like wasn't there?
They're basically like a bowl company. Yeah. So and then each mini game is like different.
I thought about it because I was like, dude, that reminds me of like Fatal Fury, because Fatal Fury 1 and 2 had that. They had like
all the interactive
the interactive stuff. Yeah, I was like, dude, they didn't just copy that from Mortal Kombat. Fatal Fury was in that years ago.
Well, funny enough, like the Fatal Fury devs were actually former Street Fighter 2 devs. That's for fact.
So it was just like, dude, like what took you guys so long? Come on, like we need more crazy zany stuff like this, But yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's something I'll do if I get into the beta. I'm definitely gonna be streaming like a couple hours of just me getting bodied and like getting hit by volleyballs and tanks and airplanes and stuff in the Street Fighter game. I think that'd be hilarious. But yeah,
super fun.
Nice. Well, I'm glad you guys had a great time with the beta. Looking forward to hopefully a third beta, or we'll wait patiently until the second, and then you guys can whoop my ass over and over or whatever. But
we all learn today, Bret.
It's true.